WCW NWO Revenge, only on Nintendo 64. Nintendo Power says WCW NWO action is bigger than ever. Fans will eat this one up. Featuring over 60 of WCW and NWO superstars with custom finishes and trademark moves. 4-player Battle Royal mode with double teaming and more weapons than ever before.
Get addicted.
Call 1-800-WCW-8661 to order now. Also available wherever video games are sold.
Revenge is just too sweet.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Izzy's Retro Video Game Reviews, man. So we're gonna have some fun as we do on all of them, and we're gonna talk about WCW versus NWO Revenge, which is the sequel to WCW NWO World Tour. Now, this one dropped in November of 1998. So man, 25 years ago, this November will be the anniversary, man. And I remember it like it was yesterday, man. So on the N64, you had WCW versus NWO World Tour, and on the WCW side of things, and then on PlayStation, you had WCW Nitro and WCW Thunder, and WCW Thunder was WCW Nitro was ported over to the N64 about a year after dropping on PlayStation. So they were both ported in. They both came out in '98 on the Nintendo 64. Although the Nintendo 64 version of WCW Nitro is terrible and cannot be compared to the PlayStation version. If you want me to do a retro video game review on WCW Nitro, let me know down in the comments. But anyway, back to WCW versus NWO Revenge, man. It had everything that you saw in World Tour, but more this time. I remember it having a story mode, and what do you call a career mode, which you were able to go for all the respective WCW championships, the World Championship, the Cruiserweight Championship, Television Championship, whatever championship you decided to go for, you were able to do that. And the roster was like very, very stacked. Basically every big WCW or NWO superstar or Japanese superstar, barring licensing issues, but you knew who they were if you followed Japanese wrestling at the time, man. But due to licensing issues, they couldn't use their real name or anything like that, so they had to kind of improvise. But they did have superstars like Great Muta and Giant Baba and so many other Japanese legends at the time. The great Sasuke, all of them were in WCW and NWO Revenge. And on the WCW side, you had newcomers like Raven and updated models for Scott Steiner and Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and and Goldberg was in there. This wasn't his WCW video game debut because he was in WCW Nitro. I believe that was his video game debut, but he was a beast in WCW NWO Revenge, man. If you're using him in a battle royal, I remember you just had to kind of get your opponent by the ropes and either shoulder tackle them and then spear him off the apron, and then you just basically run through the competition if you were Goldberg in WCW NWO Revenge, much like the actual Goldberg back then ran through everybody in WCW. So yeah, man, it was, and then the creation suite. You can create any wrestlers. You can alter their attires to keep up with the current attires of the day. So it was everything that you wanted in a wrestling game and more, man. And I just remember getting a copy of it for Christmas that year on my N64, and my brother and I, both my brothers and I should say, Carl and Gus, we played it religiously, man. 4-player mayhem, battle royals or fatal 4-way matches. We did it all, and we just enjoyed the shit out of it, and that was our bonding time together. Um, uh, that's how we bonded, man. Good times indeed with the N64 and WCW and NWO Revenge, man. And I still have my copy to this day in a crate in my basement, and along with my N64. Might have to dust that thing off and throw it on and school my little brothers today, and show them what we grew up on. The previous generation, N64, Super Nintendo, all that good stuff, man. Might have to give them a little lesson in awesomeness. Don't get me wrong, PS5 and all the current stuff is awesome, but nothing beats the N64 and that generation of consoles, man. And nothing beats WCW and NWO Revenge, man. Widely regarded in a few circles as the best wrestling game of all time. Certainly the best wrestling game. I'm not even gonna say the best wrestling game on N64, because remember, No Mercy was on the N64, and I'm gonna cover No Mercy soon, I promise. And we're gonna have some fun with that one. But man, N64, WCW, NWO Revenge, great, awesome game. I miss it so much, and just to cure my nostalgia fix, we're gonna go to some gameplay right now, and hopefully you'll get as much nostalgia as I did while watching this, man, and playing. And hopefully, if you got your copy, maybe you'll fire it up and you'll play it. So yeah, enjoy the gameplay, and that is gonna do for this episode of Izzy's Retro Video Game Reviews. Like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to hit the notification button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.